Awesome. Okay, so hi guys, welcome to a new year of the Google Developer Students Club. Like, it's really great to have you guys here, and yeah, I'm excited to see how the sessions begin to unfold. And for those who are also able to attend the intro session, thanks a lot for that. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So hi again, my name is Christy, and welcome to the Android Study Jams. So this is session one of the new to programming track. So this track is for people with little to no programming experience. We start at the beginning and you'll learn how to build mobile applications in Kotlin. So if you already have programming experience, consider the prior programming experience track, so where the content will be introduced at a faster pace. So yeah, just to reiterate, that's me. I was, interestingly, the previous lead in the last academic year. Currently, I'm in my final year of ALU studying computer science. So yeah, I'm really glad to be here. Yes. So assuming you are in the right place, here are some of the prerequisites that will be helpful for this track. So having basic computer literacy and basic math skills is recommended. You also need a computer and access to the internet to take the online course. So yeah, after this short presentation, please be short, you'll be able to work independently on the course. So use your headphones to play the videos so it doesn't disturb people around you, or if you're in the room alone, then it's okay. So it's also helpful if you have an Android device so you can test your app. A USB cable will be needed for connecting. So that's essentially something that looks like this. You'll use it to connect to your mobile phone onto the laptop. Yes, so if you don't have an Android device, don't worry. You can still use your computer to emulate an Android device, or rather to do testing with your applications. So before we dive into the content, I want to get to know you better and what brought you here. So please take a piece of paper, take a minute to think about your answer to these questions and write them down. So yeah, I'll give you about 2 to 3 minutes to work on that. And when most of you are done, then yeah, we can continue. So I'll play the music back. So just take a few minutes to reflect on these questions and just write out your answers to them. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks guys for your responses. We'll now continue. So again, just keep this in mind as we continue along with the session. Yeah. Okay, so what did everyone come up with? So is there anyone who would like to share their thoughts? Can just take a minute, or like 1 or 2 people, to just let us know what they wrote. Feel free to unmute. Yeah. Okay. So I'm seeing that Divyansh, I feel like I'm struggling to pronounce your name, but what you've written is that number 1 is to build alluring Android applications, and number 2, originate stupendous forge ahead applications. Number 3 is to do it through hard work. That's awesome. That's awesome. Really glad to hear that. Yeah, that's great. Anyone else? If not, then we can continue. Thanks for sharing. I really appreciate that. Okay, cool. So let's continue. So let's talk about what you learn as part of this new to programming track on Android Studio Jams. So for first and foremost, the goal is for you to build your first Android Android apps. To do this, you'll install Android Studio on your computer, which is an application to build Android apps. Along the way, you'll be expected to program concepts, and you'll do that in the Kotlin language. So at the end, we'll also talk about resources on how you can continue learning and building apps beyond this event. Yeah. So this is a schedule. So first we have a short presentation, which we're doing right now. We're covering some logistics and some high-level introductions to the concepts to help you with the hands-on portion of the session later. So once I'm done talking, you'll be able to dive into the course. You'll be working independently on 3 pathways, in the first unit of this course. So this is just a suggested schedule. You can walk through the pathways at your own pace and let me know, or any other facilitator who's on the call. I think Cedric is here. And you can let us know if you have any questions, and then we'll also have a short break in between. Then at the end of the sessions, I'll bring everyone together and we can recap on what you've learned today and celebrate the progress. Yeah. So you'll be working through the 100 basics in Kotlin, in the Kotlin course. So this is a free online training course developed by Google for people like yourselves to learn how to build basic Android apps. So the course is made up of units, and units are composed of pathways. So in this track, you'll be focused on the first unit, which is shown here. It's made up of 4 pathways. So in session 1, you'll work on the first 3 pathways. That's the introduction to Kotlin, create your first app, and build a basic layout. Yeah. And in session 2, you'll work on the 4th pathway, which is a little longer. Yeah. So you might be wondering what a pathway is. And it's essentially an ordered sequence of activities to learn specific skills. So this ranges from an activity that can be in the form of a video, hands-on coding tutorials, that's like also known as code labs. That can be an article or a quiz. So you can see at least 4 activities in this pathway. All these activities are meant to help you reach specific learning objectives by the end of it. Yeah. So there is a quiz at the end of the pathway to check your understanding of what you've learned. So here's what a simple quiz looks like. There are no limits to the number of retries that are there for the quiz, but if you get a question wrong, it's important that you try and understand what the concept is. So even if you need to look back at the source material, please do so before answering again. Yeah. So after you pass, you earn a badge like this one. The badges you earn can be saved to your developer profile. So when you are taking the quiz, be sure to sign in. It's on the right corner at the top. Create a developer profile if you haven't already. It's very quick to create. As you earn your badges, you can also be able to see them on your developer profile and favorite them, as you can see here. So what I'll do is I'll just send the link in the chat so you can be able to keep tabs on it as you make your accounts later if you haven't yet. So now that you're familiar with the learning platform and how the course looks, let's dive into some important concepts that you'll be learning about. So in this course, you'll be learning how to code in Kotlin. And Kotlin is a programming language that you'll use when you're building this Android application. So Kotlin is a modern and popular programming language known for helping devs to be more productive. So Kotlin allows you to be more concise when you're writing your code, and you can write safer code that's less prone to errors. So as a result of many great language features, Kotlin has quickly gained momentum in the industry. It's reportedly one of the fastest growing programming languages according to GitHub, and ranked as the 4th most loved programming language among developers according to the 2020 stats on Stack Overflow. They had carried out a developer survey for that. So pathway 1 of the course is focused on helping you understand the basics. So I will leave a couple of links to some of the things I've talked about if you're interested in finding out more about Kotlin and just how it works or has been fundamental in the under development realm. All right, okay. So to make this easier for you to learn, you'll be writing your code in the Kotlin playground. So I'll also put a link to that in the chat so you can be able to reference to it. So that's the Kotlin playground. And you can access this via your web browser. So the site looks something like this. You can write your code in the window and hit the green arrow to run it. Yeah, so the result of your code, also known as your output, will show at the bottom of the window where it says hello world. So yeah, pathway number 2 is where you create your first app. You'll need to download and install Android Studio. Let me also leave a link to downloading it in the chat. Yeah. Yeah, so you'll download it on your computer, and this is the official tool that professional developers use when they're used for like Android development. So this is how you'll be writing your Kotlin code and building your apps. So in Android Studio, you can also use an Android emulator. So remember when I said that you don't have to worry if you don't have an Android device? This is how the Android emulator comes in handy. I'll also leave a link to that in the chat so you can be able to download that or set it up as you're going through the course. So it can be used for emulating various Android devices on your computer. Yeah, the emulator allows you to run your apps, and it provides almost all compatibility capabilities that a real Android device would have initially been able to do. So if you have a physical device and want to use it, there are also instructions in this pathway that will help you in setting it up. Yeah. It's your personal preference. So lastly, in pathway 3, you learn the basic concepts of customizing the user interface of a simple app. The user interface, also known as the UI of your app, includes what the app looks like and how the user interacts with it. So the layout of an app is a design or arrangement of what the user sees on the screen. So in Android, we also have views, and these are what they do. So we have examples of views such as text views, which display your text. We have the image view that display your images, and you have the button, which is used to perform an action when it's tapped on. Yeah, so, okay, that's it. In a moment, you'll get started in the course, work at your own pace. If you get stuck, you can ask me or the other facilitators who will be available. So we're here to answer whatever questions you have. For example, if you need help installing Android Studio or getting your app to run on your Android device, please reach out. Also, feel free to ask each other for help and work together to find solutions. Yeah, so you can ask questions. I'll leave just a Q&A link to ask me questions that you might be having around the course as we continue to move on to the, yeah. So you'll start by working on the first pathway in Unit 1. That's the Android basics in the Kotlin course. So open the course page with a link we provided you. So this link, let me just put it in the chat for you. So in case you're wondering where to start from, this is the most important link. It will just get you started on the course. It's the very last one. Yeah. So you'll automatically be awarded this badge for attending the Android study jams. So save it to your developer profile and create a profile if you haven't already. Yeah. So under the new to programming track in the left hand box, click the green button to start the Android basics course. All right, so go ahead and get started in Unit 1, Pathway 1 of the Android basics in the course. I'll give you about roughly 30 minutes. So just play around with it and enjoy it. So we should be back at around honestly like 10 minutes to noon. So that's like at 11:50. So that should be about like 25 minutes of just working on this fast pathway. Yeah. So far, is there any other question? Feel free to ask or unmute, and then I can be able to clarify and offer some help. Okay, so you may begin. Okay, so hi guys. How are you guys doing? I've seen that one person has mentioned that he's finished. Like, should we continue? Any questions? Okay, I've just launched a poll. Please respond to it so that I can know how we're moving along. When you have full responses, guys, please respond to the poll. Okay, so it looks like majority of you haven't yet finished. Okay. Okay, two of you finished. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. So I think we can continue just to like work on the final bits, and then I'll leave you to continue the rest before our next session, which will be next week on Saturday. So congratulations on making it this far. Yeah. How many of you were able to create a birthday card? And does anyone want to share what your app looks like for those who have been able to make it that far? Anyone? Any takers? Forgive me for calling people out, but we have D-Rock. Do you want to share how your experience has been so far? You can just unmute and just talk through it. You may not have finished the app, but it would be interesting for us to know how it's been for you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So far things are going well. I had some issues with Android Studio. It was quite low, like slow. I saw about the content. It's beginner friendly, so it's going well for me.
Okay. And is it still slow, Android Studio? Is it still slow right now?
Yeah, I think it's because of I don't know, because I have a lot of things in my computer or a lot of things running right now. Maybe that's why.
Okay. Yeah, that's important to note. Yeah, I think with Android Studio, it's usually a bit heavy to have open with let's see, yeah. So sometimes it's usually advisable to just have like, for instance, a Zoom call will be open, have your Android Studio and maybe just 1 or 2 tabs open for your browser in Chrome, depending on what your machine can be able to handle. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing, Kira. I really appreciate that. Anyone else who wants to share the experience so far? I see we have ECK and Melissa Kiramata on the call. So just let us know. It's just a quick conversation. I'd like to hear from you guys as well. Melissa, you've unmuted, but I don't know if I can hear you. I can't hear you from my side. Just check audio, then just try again. Ooh, so I'm getting something almost there. Just try one more time.
Can you hear me now?
Perfect, perfect. Yes, yes.
So I was saying that it has been interesting for me, very interesting. I'm actually still trying to install it on my laptop, but yeah, the experience has been great. Yeah, it's been fun.
Awesome, awesome. I'm really glad that you're enjoying it so far. And yeah, just again, take your time, work on it at your own speed, and having Android Studio set up is like that one big step. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what you guys are able to build and come up with. I want to make the sessions as lively as I can. And I think once you get into seeing some of the projects that you'll be able to work on and build, it'll just get even better from here. So thank you so much for sharing, Melissa. We then have ECK, your initials. Sir or madam, please let us know how you're doing. And yeah, I guess also just introduce yourselves because I'm not sure who you are. Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Yeah. So, actually, I joined late. Yeah, but I'm installing Android Studio on my PC. Yeah, so maybe by next week I'll caught up.
What's your name? I'm just seeing initials.
Okay, let me correct. Evans.
Oh, okay. Okay. But how are you finding the course so far? Like, is it engaging? Is it interesting?
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. Have you interacted with programming in Android before? This is your first time?
No, this is the first time with Android.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for sharing. Thank you so much. So it's really great to hear from you guys. Like, just getting to hear other people on the call is also just really nice and affirming. So I think yeah, let me just finish up with the remaining slide and then we can hear from Kate, who's our lead, and then we can call this a day. Yeah, so great job everyone on your progress. You can post photos or highlights from today's session on your social media. So just thoughts on the program, and you can use the hashtag Android Study Jams. So yeah, just feel free to play around with it. And I encourage you to share a screenshot of your birthday card app. Like, it would be really cool to get to see that. And yeah, it'll get more people excited and interested in learning what it's about. And the thing is that you'll be able to grow your skills even as you prepare for, yeah, actually currently right now should be the season for applying for internships in the top companies such as Google, TikTok, Goldman Sachs, and having projects like this at like laid down and added to your portfolio will really help a long way, especially when it comes to applying through your resume. So yeah, also I think that would also be another interesting thing. Please let me know if you'd be interested in having a conversation about that, like structuring your resume. I feel like we learned about that at the start of ALU, but it's also important to understand what a software engineering resume looks like in terms of how you best position your projects, adding relevant links. So that's a conversation I'm willing to have with you people. But yeah, again, super excited to see what you guys are able to build and come up with. So yeah, please let me know if what I've said resonated with you. Yeah. So with that, I'd just love to say stay tuned for the next session. You'll be learning more about Android and Kotlin to build an interactive app. So thank you for coming and see you soon. Before that, I'd love to hear a few words from Kate, and you can call it done. Yes.
Okay, thanks, Christine. Hi, guys. How are you people doing? I'm so sorry I joined the call a bit late. I had another meeting before this one. But thank you so much, guys, for joining the call. I'm really, really excited that you guys are learning something from this, because that's the whole point of this club, for us to, interact and learn more of these things and getting to, build things and get interesting jobs or make impact in our community, Yeah, Christine, by the way, just to add, your resume idea is really nice. Like the idea on what a software engineering resume would look like, because I equally have questions on how exactly to structure my resume as a software engineer. So if we could actually plan a session on that, separate from these particular sessions that we're having, that would actually be really, really nice. So we'll actually get on planning that soon.
Actually, I think what I can do is let me actually just share a link to my current resume. So the guys on the call will actually get to benefit from it. But as you said, we can definitely organize or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. That would be so nice. Thank you. I think maybe one thing I just wanted to ask is to ask you guys probably how you're finding the sessions so far, and maybe how exactly you'd want us to, make them a bit more interactive. So is this method that we're using now working for you guys? Like the one where we just like go into the course ourselves and just work on them on our own, or would you like us to follow through these particular things together? Maybe just type 1 if my first idea works for you, and type 2 if the second one works for you. We're just trying to find a way to make this session more interactive for you guys. So if you feel like this method that we're using now, where you just go into the course directly, we give each other time to work on our own. If that is working for you now, please type 1 in the chat. And if you'd like us to follow through the coursework next time, maybe you go through the stuff on your own, then we follow through next time, type 2 in the chat. I'd really, really appreciate. We are like 3 of us here. So yeah, please, if you don't mind. So Melissa is saying 1 is great for her. Dirak and Evans? So Dirak said either works for him. Okay. Evans? Evans, are you still on the call? We are just asking which option for the running of our sessions works for you. So do you want us to follow the session, to follow through the content together, or you work on it separately like we've done today? So yeah, just type which one of them works for you if you're still around. Okay, maybe he's not around because I can see the chat box is still empty. But anyway, thank you so much, guys, for your feedback. We'll still be coming up with more ways to, spice up our sessions. But so far, since you guys like what we're doing now, I think that's what we're gonna continue with. But thank you so much, guys. We're gonna be having our next session next week, same time. So please apply RSVP through the GDSC portal, the event platform. You can RSVP for the event, then we can convene here next week. Also, before I forget, there is a Slack group where we're going to be discussing like the content we go through over the week. So before our next session on Saturday, I want us to have a conversation about basically how you're finding the course so far, or if there's something you need fixing. So please join that group. I would really appreciate if you joined the group so that you can have a conversation. But all in all, thank you so much, guys, for joining. I really appreciate it. Christine, you can close.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much, Kate. I think that's really important. Like just continuing the spirit of community. Yeah. In spite of the fact that we are remote, I feel like having those channels to just have conversations with each other would be helpful. So as you guys have probably seen in the chat, I've shared my resume. So you can just go over it, see how I've structured it. And yeah, hopefully it will help you land your next big internship. I mean, like the format. So yeah. Aside from that, it's been a pleasure getting to facilitate this session, and thank you so much for your engagement. And I look forward to seeing you next Saturday. Please bring a friend and let them know that there's a lot that they can learn from this. So aside from that, it's been me, Christine, your host. Have a lovely weekend.
You too. Bye.
Okay. Can leave at your own leisure. Or rather, I'll just end the call now. But yeah.